Good afternoon. My name is Vicki Gilani, and I'm a speech-language pathologist at an outpatient pediatric rehab facility in Houston, Texas. On August 25th, Hurricane Harvey made landfall. During that storm, floodwaters entered my home, filled my mailbox, and covered every escape route we had. I was lucky during Harvey. I had the overwhelming support of my family, community, state, and federal governments. But just 7 days later, on September 1st, more restrictive and cost-cutting measures were implemented, affecting the therapy services we provide our children with special needs. I now wake up and ask myself every day, why does this state care more about my house than it cares about our kids? I never asked for water to enter my home, but our kids never asked to live their life with a disability. I want Texas to be exactly what you want it to be, a great state. Yet according to the U.S. News and World Report, Texas ranks 45th in terms of healthcare accessibility and 46th in terms of healthcare quality services. This system at HHSC is designed to focus on creating contracts in order to prevent fraud, monitor utilization, and implement cost-cutting measures, waste, fraud, and abuse. Just who at HHSC is in charge of improving healthcare quality or accessibility? We heard from HHSC today. They're making contracts with Deloitte. But who is monitoring true measures of quality services? We have invested millions in order to prevent one case of fraud, and in the process have denied thousands of children medically necessary services. Speaking of denials, on May 4th, at a Star Kids Advisory Committee hearing, HHSC released data indicating that between November 2016 to August 2017, there has been a 33% decrease of the number of children who receive speech therapy services, from 17,347 to 11,637. Meanwhile, the overall population of Texas and children who need services continues to increase. HHSC may state that they have done a better job at improving quality control, and by that they mean monitoring utilization and decreasing fraud. But their own data indicates that 5,710 less children have received speech therapy in a matter of a year and a half. Where are the 5,710 cases of fraud? To date, HHSC has not presented data on the number of physical or occupational therapy denials, nor the number of denials since the September 1st therapy rate cuts went into effect. By the way, when you're denied therapy services, the process of obtaining a fair hearing is very, very different from the part that Stephanie briefly mentioned about fair hearings for an MDCP denial. It takes roughly 2 to 4 months to obtain a fair hearing, and that depends if your MCO chooses to follow CMS regulations and issue the family a written decision of the denial and the process for an appeal and fair hearing. In addition to that, it takes a minimum of 60 days to obtain an answer regarding the fair hearing decision. In the meantime, the child goes without services for a period of 6 months. While the number of denials at our agency has tripled since September 1st, our wait lists have increased by 650%. By the way, all those denials say exactly the same thing, that the child's needs can be addressed by a home exercise plan issued by the therapist to the parent. I find that incredibly insulting, because it almost suggests that perhaps if the caregiver was a better parent, that maybe their 20-month-old child with Down syndrome could walk, and maybe their 3-month child with a rare medical diagnosis that affects their swallowing could eat. I don't want to see another letter from an MCO stating that the parent has to be their child's physical, occupational, and speech therapist. So I'm asking you during the next legislative session, let's put something into practice so that these MCOs don't get away with that kind of logic. I work at an outpatient pediatric clinic in Houston, Texas, and when I'm saying that our wait lists have increased by 650%, I wonder what the wait lists look like in Fort Worth, in Wichita Falls, in Laredo, and I believe it's Dallas and San Antonio. While Houston has the largest concentration of therapists in the state, today, if you want to obtain speech therapy services at our clinic, the average wait time is 5 months. And if you want to be seen for physical therapy services, the average wait time right now is over 9 months. In fact, the next child scheduled to be seen at our clinic for physical therapy services has been waiting since August 4th, 2017. 9 months. That's how long it takes for the typical developing child to go from lifting its neck to standing and walking. HHSC has left the MCOs in charge of tracking wait lists and access to care, but I have never once received a phone call from an MCO asking what our wait lists look like. And why would they? Why would the MCOs, who stand to benefit and profit more when a child doesn't receive services, inquire or even express that they care about our wait lists? Perhaps this model of tracking data should be reevaluated by HHSC unless we all relish in looking at bad data. And regarding bad data, the most recent data released by HHSC, it's in page 3 of my packet, indicates that between November 2016 to March 2018, only 5 providers and members have ever made a complaint regarding therapy rates.
Would you mind pulling the microphone back just a little
Sorry.
bit?
I know, I tend to get really...
Or volume down. One or the other. It's all out.
Sorry. The data released by HHSC indicates that only 5 providers and members have ever made a complaint regarding therapy rates. And that's between November 2016 to March 2018, a period of a year and a half. Yet between June and July of 2017, we have 41 tracking numbers from our agency of families and providers who filed a complaint with the Office of the Ombudsman regarding therapy rates. It was a period of 6 weeks. And speaking of other complaints, I personally recorded 17 attempts at filing a formal complaint with the Office of the Ombudsman regarding therapy rates from April to May of 2017. There has not been a single person, not even when I met with Commissioner Smith, who has been able to explain to me what happened to those complaints. Where is that data being tracked? What happened to those complaints? In the next legislative session, you will be asked to make some tough decisions and be reminded that due to Harvey, we will be in another budget shortfall. But I'm asking you to prioritize what's irreplaceable. Homes are replaceable, but our kids aren't. Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions? Thank you very much.